And welcome to the new video. If this is your first time here, nice to meet you. My name is Hannah. Welcome. Today I will be talking about my stats from 2024 reading. So I was always an avid reader, but I think in last year, 2024, I kind of started paying a bit more attention to my stats, and my reading habits have changed a little bit as well, and also the genres that I've been reading have changed as well. Today, I want to review with you my 2024. So I'm going to go over to my PC, I'm going to open my Stor Graph, and we are going to have a look at how my 2024 was in numbers over at Stor Graph. Let's go. Okay, so I had to sort out a few technological issues. Hopefully everything will be fine now, and we can have a look at my 2024 reading wrap up from Stor Graph. Congratulations on a fantastic reading year. Apparently I finished reading 166 books across 33,904 pages and 841.4 hours of audio. The first book of the year, Evidence of the Affair, and the last book of the year, Stor Graph, which I absolutely loved. Since finishing this book, I know it wasn't in any of my videos, but I absolutely loved that book. I actually lent it out to a friend, and both him and his partner read it, and they both loved it. This is one of my 5-star reads last year. My last book of the year turned out to be a 5-star. You can't be mad. I can't be mad about it. So I'm very happy with this one. And then a mood map of my reading. It is actually very strange to see, but I'm not surprised. Lighter books push the line up, and darker books pull the line down. 2024 was the year when I started reading a little bit more horror. And I always liked horror. I liked thriller books and, you know, suspense and stuff like that. But I was never so much into it as this year. And as the year progressed, I started reading darker and darker things, leaning even on extreme, like especially in December I was reading quite a lot of extreme horror, and I'm kind of, for now, dipping my toes in those waters. But I think this is extreme horror is something that I actually quite enjoy, and I've already have a few books lined up, and I want to check this out a little bit more. January was quite nice and yellow because I was reading a lot of romance in January still, so I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised to see this graph going down, because my mood and my reading tastes actually become darker and darker. You explore the shadows of the human psyche, tethered on the edges of anticipation, and follow cryptic trails of secrets. The narratives flowed at a comfortable, engaging tempo. I've reached my reading goal. And then the genre you spent the most time with in 2024, horror, no surprises there, 56 books. Then thriller, 50 books. Mystery, 37, romance, 34, surprisingly, and fantasy, 31. Horror, I'm not surprised, not at all. The longest book I have read / listened to was The Running Grave by Robert Galbraith, and that was over 34 hours of listening. Yeah, that one. And the shortest, Evidence of the Affair, Taylor Jenkins Reid, 88 pages. The average length of the books I've read was 359 pages and roughly 5 days to finish a book. Dead Animals spent 1 day. Of the Flesh, 43 days. That's a short story collection, which I didn't really like that much. And it's such a... I have come to realize I'm not a short story person. I prefer proper novels. The authors, Colleen Hoover. I've already read 6 books by Colleen Hoover. Tik Kingfisher, not surprised here, because I did say in many of my videos that Tik Kingfisher is becoming one of my favorite authors. And Emily McIntyre, 5 books, because I've read the whole Never After series by Emily McIntyre, so Not surprised. It was 5 books. I will not continue with this series though. Average rating 3.65 star, which is very good. And all my 5-star reads. See, we've got Final Offer by Lauren Asher. This is when I kind of started towards the end of 2023. I started reading a little bit more romance, and then I was reading Colleen Hoover, and then I come across Lauren Asher, Final Offer, Terms and Conditions, and there was one more book. I think this is the last one in the series, so that was a 5-star to me. Loyal Wife, 5-star. I can't remember what it was about right now. It was an audiobook. Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. We've got The Fourth Wing, Taylor Jenkins Reid, One True Loves, a really good book. I like that one. Code of Thorns and Roses. A Code of Thorns and Roses was the first proper fantasy book that I have read in 2024, and from there I kind of started venturing towards fantasy a little bit more, and then, you know, I followed up with Fourth Wing as well and the rest of the Akota series. And then we have Dark Matter, Blake Crouch, A Code of Mist and Fury, 5 stars. Michelle Obama, Becoming. I love that biography, and I listened to this as an audiobook, and she was narrating her audiobook, and I just loved it. I had to rate it 5 stars. And then we have Andy Weir, Her Mary. I loved that book. It was funny. It was engaging. Absolutely loved it. V. Schwab. That was the first time I was reading V. Schwab as well. Loved Addie, The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. Bill Bryson is kind of like my go-to when I want to have a laugh. 5-star every single time. And then we've got The Good Girl's Guide to Murder. We've got Under the Whispering Door. Absolutely adore that book. The Silent Patient. Strange Sally Diamond. And yeah, love that one. What Moves the Dead. This was the first book by T. Kingfisher that I've read. And this what kind of sparked that love of T. Kingfisher's writing for me, and from then I think I've read another so altogether I think 5 books or 6 books by T. Kingfisher I've read in 2024. And then what else do we have? Strange Child Design, Silent Patient, Camp Damascus, The Invocations, Bad Graces, The Watchers, one of my favorite horror books in 2024, The Exorcist, Burial Plot, The Cabin at the End of the World by Paul Tremblay, again one of my favorite books in horror books in 2024. I will have a video about my top 5, maybe 10 books of that certain of 2024 in certain genres. So yeah, I'll make it happen. And then again, T. Kingfisher, No Exit, Taylor Adams, The House in the Cerulean Sea, Foe, As Good as Dead, Nettle and Bone, Hidden Pictures, Jonas But the Kingdom, that was a reread, This Wretched Valley, The Poppy War, The Twisted Ones, Spite House, Ask for Andrea, The Eyes of the Best Part, and Coup de Grace. These are all my 5-star reads, and that's just my 5-star reads. So yeah, I think it's a really good selection here. It's quite a few as well, which is really nice. Right, so now we have the ratings. I had 4 books 1 stars, 23 books 2 stars, 7 books 2.5 stars, 33 books rated 3 stars, 1 book rated 3.5, 1 book 3.75, 46 books rated 4 stars, 10 books rated 4.5, 1 book rated 4.75, and 39 books rated 5 stars. Not bad. Some months were better than the others. January, my highest average rating month, was 4.33, and April was my worst one. My average rating was 2.84. Most pages read in March, 5,063. Most shelved, Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. Least shelved, Undeadwood by Karl Monks. Still want people to read this book. It was a fun book. Then highest rated, Becoming. 120 new authors explode in 2024. Wow. 65 books you've read were part of the series. I think I will have a separate video about the series. I wanna kind of be on point of my series next year, so I'm gonna do a separate video on that. One reread with Jonas Buddha Kingdom, like I said. I had 15 DNFs, wow, and 49 books from my own shelf. And that's all the books I've read in 2024. We've got Evidence of the Affair, Terms and Conditions, Final Offer, Night House, The Other Husbands. So yeah, it's quite a good selection of books here, actually. Some of them audiobooks, a lot of them physical books, some of them also Kindle reads as well. So yeah. That's quite interesting to see. I like looking at other people's stats, and probably this is the reason why I'm doing mine, because, you know, I enjoyed that type of a video. And yeah, in case if there's other people like myself, I am going to provide. Right, let's have a look at my DNFs. I want to see what my 15 DNFs were. Right, let's go. 15 DNFs. Right, we've got Twisted Anna. Right, I absolutely hated that book. I've literally read, like, I think 3, 4, maybe 5 chapters, and I was like, I can't read this. Like, no. Shaggy Bane, it's supposed to be such a good book, and I just couldn't get into it. I just found it so heavy. Maybe maybe I wasn't in a mood for Shaggy Bane. Maybe I need to reread Shaggy Bane. Maybe. Crooked Kingdom. So I've listened to Six of Crows, and then I didn't really like it, and then I started listening to Crooked Kingdom. That was my I had a copy from audiobook from the library, and I DNF'd it. I was just getting so bored. It's just not my thing, I guess, and it saddens me to see and to say that, because I know a lot of people love Six of Crows and they love Shadow and Bone, and I myself, I just couldn't get into it. I think Leigh Bardugo is just not for me, because yeah, I just don't gel with Leigh Bardugo. That's it. Then we've got She Never Left. I don't even know what that was about. It was about some group of kids in some town, something. I can't even remember. It was rubbish. The Paris Wife. I think this is when I started, when I was reading this book. I used to read a lot of historical fiction, and around that time when I was reading The Paris Wife, I think I started kind of coming out from that historical fiction era, and I just struggled reading this book, and I decided to DNF it. Full of Ruin and Wrath. Oh God, till today I literally don't see any point to this book. For what I have listened to, I was just like, nothing is happening in this book. All they do is bang, basically. Right, so The Paul Bears Club, I think I had different expectations for this book, reading the synopsis. I still have this book on my bookshelf, so I might mark it as a reread and give it another go in 2025. But yeah, I did DNF it. Maybe it wasn't a right time for me. Never Whistle at Night, again, DNF'd it. I just didn't gel with this. It's a short story collection, and yeah, I think I'm just not a short story person. So yeah, that's that. The Between, Tananarive Duo, I think it had a good premise, but I don't think I was in the mood for a slow kind of horror like this. So it was a soft DNF for me. I am going to approach it again. We Are All Ghosts in the Forest. That was an arc from NetGalley, and unfortunately it just didn't work for me at all. So DNF. Love Unwritten. Yeah, I've read the first one, Love Redesigned, and it was kind of okay. And then I was reading Love Unwritten, and I was like literally a repeat of book 1. DNF'd it. I just, yeah. Cracked Mirror, I just didn't find it interesting that much. Maybe there was some sort of kind of like a murder Thursday club, Thursday murder club, stuff like that. Older lady, and she teams up with another detective from America, and they're trying to solve something. But I didn't get engrossed in this book enough to continue. The Betrayals, Bridget Collins. I usually like Bridget Collins, but I think because I was kind of out of that historical fiction era, it just didn't work for me. Also, magical realism. I've tried magical realism last year as well. I mean, 2023, and it just doesn't work for me, so no. Fated Bene Gesserit, that was a recommendation from a friend. Unfortunately, didn't like it, DNF'd it. It just read old and old-fashioned, and I didn't like no, it's not for me. And then the last DNF is The Wish by Nicholas Sparks, and I DNF'd it towards the end of the book. I just got so pissed off with something that happened in the book. I was like, I can't read this anymore because, yeah. So these are some of the stats from 2024. Now let's talk about goals for 2025. I haven't got very specific goals. Everything is kind of just like soft and blurry, but my goal for 2025 for sure is to read a bit more from my own TBR, so pick books from my own bookshelves. I've recently released a video going through all of my unread books. I have 151 of them, dating 31st of December 2024, so I have 151 books to choose from. I also went over some of my subscription boxes. I have cancelled Illumicrate because I found myself recently especially skipping some of the boxes, and yeah, I think my last box that I haven't skipped was from September, so October, November, December, January I would have skipped those as well. February I would have skipped, so I decided to just cancel the subscription. I have Evernight still going on, so I have access to the shop and I can, you know, pick up certain books if they catch my eye as well. So that's that. And I also am keeping my Abominable Book Club horror book subscription because I actually enjoy the books that they send me, and this is something that I'm interested in, horror more than this type of a fantasy that Illumicrate's sends in the boxes. Reading wise, I kind of had to set a goal on Goodreads and Fable or whatever. So I set it for 150 books because this year I've read 166. A lot of them were audiobooks, but it doesn't matter. Like I said, I want to read more from my physical TBR. I also want to read more on my Kindle because yeah, I have some good books on my Kindle that I usually buy when they come out as a part of the deal. So I want to continue reading my Kindle. I want to continue reading my physical TBR. Also, I still want to keep up with reading the series. So in January, I think my plans mostly would be to finish the series that I have started, just close them off, and from February, you know, kind of go on. The other thing that I want to complete in 2025 is I want to complete reading the books from my self-destruct trolley. I have 25 of them. I have read one, reading the second one, and yeah, so I want to read the books from that trolley because I don't want to just discard them or give them away. I kind of want to give them a chance. So this is me giving those books a chance, and yeah, we'll see how that goes, but hopefully I will be reading those books as well. I will have a new series starting on my YouTube channel, series to do with my self-destruct trolley. I'm thinking I have 25 books on this trolley, so I can do 5 episodes this year and put 5 books in each episode. I think that would be fun. So yeah, also I want to spend I want to buy less books. I want to get my unread shelves down to like a manageable number. 151 books unread is a lot. If I can have about 50 unread books on my shelves, it's still a good choice. It's still something to pick from. But I'm not going to ban myself completely from buying books, because sometimes something new comes out and you just want to read it, or by the author that you enjoy reading. So I'm not going to ban myself, but I want to concentrate more on reading what I already have than buying new books and bringing more books and hauling more books onto my shelves. So that's that. I think also I want to track my books a little bit better, and Cassidy recently posted this video where she provided us with a lovely spreadsheet where you can track your books. So I want to be on the ball, or tracking my books, tracking my reading. I'm quite good cataloging my books, and I want to be the same when it comes to tracking my reading. And thank you very much, Cassidy, for providing us with this spreadsheet. I will link her video in the description box below, and also you should be seeing this on the top corner somewhere. But I think it's a really good resource, and I think if you a stats and spreadsheet nerd like myself, you're going to love it. So have a look. I have already edited my spreadsheet. It's already waiting for the first books to get on there, and I can't wait to be using that and tracking all my reading like that. And also I think I got another goal, but that's not to do with booktube. It's more to do with my drawing. I want to complete my Northern Line station project, where I draw / paint all the stations on the Northern Line. I think I have 8 or 9 left, so I just need to get my ass in gear and finish that project, and yeah, close it off and maybe move on to something else. So I'm gonna go now because I've been here for way too long. And yeah, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give me thumbs up, and if you want to say something but you don't know what, leave me the book emoji or anything to do with books, and I will know that you are here. Once again, thanks very much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful year, reading wise and goals wise and whatever wise you can think of, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.